You're at a party and someone says, "Oh, you're definitely a left-brain person." Or, "I can tell you're a right-brain thinker." It sounds familiar, right? This idea suggests that people have a dominant side of their brain that defines their personality and skills. But is there really any scientific basis for this? Today, we're diving deep into the myth of left brain and right brain personalities to uncover the truth. The concept of left brain versus right brain dominance became widely popular in the 20th century. It's based on the notion that each hemisphere of the brain controls different functions, and people are either left-brained, analytical and logical, or right-brained, creative and intuitive. But is this really accurate? Let's explore where this idea comes from and why it doesn't hold up under scientific scrutiny. The idea of left brain and right brain dominance originated from the work of Roger Sperry, a neuroscientist who conducted research on split-brain patients in the 1960s. Split-brain patients are individuals who had their brain's two hemispheres surgically disconnected to treat severe epilepsy. Sperry's research revealed that when the two hemispheres were not communicating, they could handle different tasks independently. For example, the left hemisphere might handle language processing, while the right hemisphere dealt with visual spatial tasks. This finding was groundbreaking at the time, but it was also a bit misleading when taken out of context. Sperry's research showed that each hemisphere has specialized functions, but it didn't mean that people were strictly left-brained or right-brained. Over time, however, this scientific finding was simplified and misinterpreted into the popular notion that people have a dominant brain hemisphere that dictates their personality and cognitive style. So why does the idea of left brain and right brain dominance not hold up scientifically? Let's take a closer look at some key reasons. Firstly, the human brain is incredibly complex, and its functions cannot be neatly divided into two categories. While it's true that certain tasks are more commonly associated with one hemisphere, both sides of the brain work together to perform almost all tasks. For instance, while language processing is often linked to the left hemisphere for many people, the right hemisphere also plays a role in understanding the emotional tone and context of language. This means that cognitive processes, such as problem-solving, creativity, and emotional regulation, involve interactions between both hemispheres. Another important factor is the brain's remarkable adaptability, known as neuroplasticity. This ability allows the brain to reorganize itself and form new neural connections. If one hemisphere is damaged or not functioning optimally, other parts of the brain can often compensate for lost functions. This adaptability further challenges the notion of having a strictly dominant side of the brain. Additionally, personality traits are influenced by a myriad of factors, not just brain hemisphere dominance. Your personality is shaped by a combination of genetic, environmental, and social influences. The idea that a single brain hemisphere determines personality is an oversimplification. People exhibit a range of traits and abilities influenced by various factors, rather than being strictly left-brained or right-brained. The myth of left brain versus right brain dominance has been widely popularized by media and self-help culture. This concept simplifies complex brain science into catchy but misleading ideas. Books, articles, and even personality quizzes often present the left brain arc right brain theory in a way that makes it seem straightforward, even though it doesn't accurately reflect current scientific understanding. Many people continue to believe in this myth because it's easier to grasp than the more nuanced reality of brain function. To better understand how the brain actually works, let's look at what modern neuroscience tells us about brain function. Rather than focusing on left brain versus right brain dominance, it's more useful to think of the brain as operating through interconnected networks and systems. For example, the brain has various networks that handle different functions. The default mode network is active when you're at rest and not focused on the external environment. It's involved in self-referential thoughts and memory retrieval. On the other hand, the executive function network is responsible for high-level cognitive tasks such as planning, decision-making, and problem-solving. Both of these networks involve interactions between both hemispheres of the brain. Moreover, different brain regions have specialized functions, but these regions work together flexibly and integratively. For instance, Broca's area is associated with language production, while the visual cortex processes visual information. These regions interact to create a comprehensive cognitive experience. The brain's neuroplasticity allows for continual adaptation and learning, further supporting the idea that brain functions are dynamic rather than fixed. Understanding that the brain operates as a complex, integrated system, rather than being divided into left brain and right brain functions, has practical implications for how we approach personal development and understanding others. Instead of trying to fit yourself or others into a left brain or right brain box, recognize that the brain's functions are interconnected and dynamic. Embrace the complexity of cognitive processes and focus on developing skills and abilities that interest you. Engaging in activities that challenge both analytical and creative aspects of your brain can be more beneficial than trying to label yourself as one type of thinker. Recognizing that people have unique cognitive strengths and preferences can help foster better interpersonal relationships. Rather than assuming someone is solely left-brained or right-brained, appreciate the diverse ways in which people think and solve problems. Everyone has a unique combination of traits and abilities influenced by a range of factors. Staying informed about the latest research in neuroscience can also help you form a more accurate understanding of brain function. By learning about how the brain works from a scientific perspective, you can avoid misconceptions based on outdated theories and appreciate the true nature of human cognition and personality. The notion of having a left brain or right brain personality is a myth that oversimplifies the complex nature of brain function. While certain tasks may be more associated with one hemisphere, both sides of the brain work together in a dynamic and integrated way. Understanding this complexity allows us to better appreciate the true nature of human cognition and personality. Thank you for exploring this topic with us. If you found this information enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into psychology and neuroscience. And as always, keep seeking knowledge and understanding in your journey through the fascinating world of the human mind.